Peace, love, and light, you guys, and welcome to your general reading for this full moon in Libra. If you're new here, my name is Ty, and I'm super happy to have you. Hopefully, you take a look around, like what you see, and hit the subscribe button. If you're returning, thank you so much for joining me again. I'm super happy to have you and grateful for all of the love and the support. You guys, if you don't know how this works, this is a general reading. Everything won't resonate. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Know that the roles are interchangeable. Energy is fluid. Time is an illusion. Could be past, present, or near future. And yeah, so let's get into it. Let's see what this full moon in Libra is taking away and bringing in. Okay. I'm going to start off with the Moonology deck just because of the full moon. So let's get into it. I call my spirit guides divine, God, creator, source, to guide and protect me. I call all of the archangels to guide and protect me and assist me in delivering these messages accurately and clearly to the collective. Spirit, tell me about this full moon in Libra. What is the energy for the collective? Tell me about the full moon in Libra. What is the energy for the collective? Tell me about the full moon in Libra. Tell me about the full moon in Libra. Whoa, okay. Surrender to the divine and hold your vision, okay? Full moon, actually. That's full moon. Yeah, so I feel like this is really asking us to let go of anything that's interrupting our path and our purpose. And I feel like that is the energy right now. It really is. This energy is really asking us to step into who we are meant to be, to really dive into our purpose. And in order to do that, we need to disconnect from whatever it is that is either holding us back or lingering. You know, Libra is a sign of relationships, and so a lot of the collective may find that it's either one of two things. Either a relationship is coming to a closing, an end, a long-standing relationship, or you are in the process of creating a new one. And so Libra is a sign of clarity. It's a sign of truth. And so I really feel like that right now you're really being asked to really take a look at your relationships and take a look at those around you and make a clear, firm decision on how it is that you want to move forward, or rather on what is no longer in alignment and needs to go in order for you to move forward. And, you know, wow, look at this. I can't make this up. What's at the bottom of the deck? A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. I don't know if you guys could see that. But yeah, so I definitely feel like there's a need to let go of trying to control anything so that you can allow things to unfold the way that they need to unfold. Okay, I'm gonna read that full moon directly from the book because I'm being called to. So let's do that. Let's see where full moon is, and that is 32. Let's see. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind, agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface. No matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card, matters will soon conclude and you'll find out whether or not wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. Okay, the full moon marks the climax of a lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon, and pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long. Yeah, so I feel like if you have been in a state of, I'm going to use confusion for lack of a better word, but unable to really make a clear decision, I feel like this moon is really pushing us toward deciding. Make a decision so that you can move forward, because that indecision confuses the universe. That indecision is really just a place of stuck. It's not even stillness. It's just you feeling like you just don't know. You just don't know, that back and forth, right? And so I feel like you're really being asked to right now release, reflect, reassess, or assess where you are and with certain connections, and get clear and honest with yourself and others about those relationships and whether or not they have come to a close in this chapter or this cycle, or you're taking them with you. It's one or the other, right? And right now I feel like a lot of the collective has 1 foot here, 1 foot here, and Spirit is saying it's time for you to close it out, tie up loose ends and decide, so that you know how to move forward, who's coming with you, who's not, so that you can start to move forward. Okay? All right. Coming through with a come through. Oh, wait, no, I'm not pulling this from this yet. I'm going to go in with this tarot. Spirit, tell me more about the energy for the collective. Tell me more for this full moon energy. Ascension. Yeah. Ooh, so ascension and teaching. Bottom of the deck, reunion of souls. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel like the collective is going through an ascension period, and I feel like we have been with all of the things that happened recently with the planets and the eclipses. This is what we're going through, right? We're releasing the old, we're closing out old cycles, because we're learning. We know better. When you know better, you do better, right? And so I feel like the more you learn, the more information that comes into your awareness. I feel like this is allowing the collective to make more clear, level-headed decisions. But, in the process of ascending, you can feel like that, you will feel that discomfort. Okay? Sorry, you guys, I got a phone call. So as I was saying, ascension can feel uncomfortable, right? Because you're going through a process of change. Now, I'm really feeling with this ascension and seeing at the bottom of the deck, a reunion of souls, that this is really talking about the discomfort that comes from separating from people who you've loved or you've known, relationships that you've had maybe all of your life, or just maybe really deep connections. I feel like there's a need to, with the surrender to divine and just the closing and this full moon, there's a need to really look at those relationships, right? And it can be uncomfortable. But with reunion of souls, this reminds us, this is soulmate energy, right? And so a soulmate can be a lover, it can be a friend, it can be a family member, it can be anything, right? Anybody that you have a very deep connection with. And so in the process of ascending, I feel like there's a need to honor those relationships that you have experienced deep connection with, that you've learned from, right? With teaching here, I feel like these relationships that are challenging often allow us for really deep lessons. And so it's about looking at those relationships, and even if those relationships are coming to an end and closing out, it's honoring them, honoring that even though they were in your life for a season and not a lifetime, you are still grateful for the lessons that they brought you. In addition to that, it's like understand the depth, right? When we're talking about soulmates, these are people, or not people, but souls that agreed. They came into a contract before you even finding this person, right? In this 3D, your soul came into contract and agreed to meet in this 3D. And for you to have encountered that person, right? That soul to have met yours here in this 3D, understanding the level of love or the depth of love that is necessary in order for you to find that, right? And we are in a time of soulmates. So a lot of soulmates and twin flames are coming into union now to help raise the collective consciousness, because we're building a new world, right? Right now, our world is undergoing a collapse. There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. And that is going to continue to happen because this world is not healthy for us anymore, right? It's built on false things and no love. And so light workers, healers, star seeds, and chosen ones, right, are on this planet to help raise the collective consciousness and rebuild again on the foundation of love. And so I guess honoring that, honoring the people who have made you feel like home, honoring, those connections, but also understanding that they have run their course, right? It's up to here that we go, and being thankful and grateful for having the experience and having learned what you learned. But it's time to move on, right? With this teaching card, this is something that's really standing out to me as well. And I really feel like the collective is also being encouraged to increase your knowledge and expertise in any area that you find is, resonates with you, right? Whatever it is that is in your passion or your purpose, to seek oh my gosh, I can't talk right now, but to take some sort of formal study. Some of you may have been considering starting a business, or, just maybe promotions and things that you've been calling in and working for and waiting for. And Spirit is saying, okay, for some of you, many of the collective, that might include formal study, whether it be you taking a course, some sort of certification, or actually going back to school. For certain things, while others of you who are light workers and healers and star seeds and all of the above, this is about, yes, gaining knowledge, but then also sharing that knowledge with the world, sharing with others, and not gatekeeping, right? How to live better, healthier lives, okay? How to raise their consciousness, how to raise their vibration, how to attract certain things. It's like teaching each other, right? That saying, each one teach one. So sharing the knowledge and sharing the information. I had a conversation with someone not too long ago, and I can't remember the exact question that he asked me. I can't remember how he phrased it, but it was something about why people choose, like whether or not why people choose to live in a certain state. And we were talking about, for instance, no shade to anybody, but the people who choose to, let's say, stay in the hood, right, or in the neighborhoods that are rough, and whether or not people choose those conditions. Right now, we know that some people don't have the means, and that's not what we're referring to. We're referring to more on a spiritual level, right? On a mental level, the things that, that there are things, there's always a choice. We always have a choice, even if it's not exactly the choices that we desire. And so he asked me something along those lines. And I remember that my response was, one of the reasons that I believe, I don't believe that people, just choose. Some people do, don't get me wrong, but I don't believe that everybody just chooses to stay stuck because they are actively aware that that's what they're choosing. I feel like a lot of times people do not have the information necessary to even know that they have another choice. And it's like, you don't know what you don't know unless somebody comes along and shares that information with you. And I feel like if we are being selfless, and if we are, if we are really living in love, then information is something that we should information that we know can benefit someone else is something that we should be sharing. And so we shouldn't just be on here, on these platforms so that, we could be on your screen and you could be popular and you could, have followers. It's like, no, share. What are you sharing? What is your message to the world? Is the message that you're sharing helpful to somebody else? Can they do something with that? And so using those outlets, using those platforms to share valuable information so that those people who may not know any better or may feel stuck and like they don't have anything else or anywhere else, like they just don't know, that you are able to share and share this information, and they can, they then are aware, people will then, right, you're aware, okay, now I have a choice. Oh, I didn't know that this thing existed, that I could treat my anxiety through meditation. Oh, I didn't know that I could get that there for free. Whatever it is, okay, I'm a little bit all over the place, but pulling that back in. Share the knowledge, right? Share that kind of wealth. Okay, we understand and we know that knowledge is all we need, power if applied. But how sad is it that some people don't even have the information? They don't even know that they have that power exists to be able to choose, to have the option, right? To create a different reality for themselves. So yeah, share that information. I went on a tangent there, but I feel like, with during this time, we are looking more, the collective is looking more towards people who are genuine and who want to give a leg up, right? To want to extend their hand out and help you up, and they're gravitating to people who are genuinely wanting to help make the world a better place. Okay, and I feel like that is the world that we are creating right now. I don't care. Nobody's going to tell me different, okay? I'm going to say this for probably like the 100th time, and I'm going to always say it because this is what the energy is for the rest of my lifetime. We are in the age of Aquarius, okay? And you better come correct, because right now, truth seekers are what we are dealing with, right? This generation that's coming up, they are truth seekers. They don't care about how, like all the Gucci, Louis, Fendi, Prada. Like, okay, don't get me wrong, it's pretty. But these are truth seekers. They want to know where your heart is. They want to know that you are keeping it a buck. They want to know that you are authentic and genuine. They want to know that you just not trying to get one up on them. They want deeper connections. Okay, you got money. And, what else? What else is there to you? Can you teach me how to get that money? Or are you just here to like flaunt it, right? How can you show me, right? This is the time, this is the age that we're living in, right? And the only thing that's going to hold up during this time is truth. So, that being said, woo, this full moon in Libra is like, it's coming in hot. Now it's coming in clear. Let me say that. It's coming in clear. That's what's happening here. It's coming in clear. I feel called to, you know what? No, I'm not gonna pull one from here until after, because that's that. Let's get into the tarot, because I don't want this to be too long. Let's get into the tarot. Let's get into the tarot. I'll be bugging. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope that you have plans for your full moon ritual. Okay? Spirit, what is the energy right now? Tell me about the energy for the collective during this full moon in Libra. Ooh, Two of Swords. What I said. Decide. Make a clear decision, because everybody can't come. You're headed to the sun. That rhymed. Unintentional. I know it probably seems cheesy. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. The sun. A lot of things are going to come to light, okay, that are going to help you make the decision on how you want to move, how you want to move forward with your connections. But I feel like a lot is coming to fruition. We got the Three of Swords. I'm going to check in on that. Yeah. But one of the things is I feel like this decision that you're going to make, obviously, there are going to be people are going to be disappointed along the way. And unfortunately, you know, while you can do things with compassion and empathy, you know, you can't help that sometimes, you know, somebody's going to get hurt. Justice, straight Libra energy. Libra entering the chat. Libra truth just entered the chat. Clarity, honesty, decision. Decide what you want so that it comes to you now. That's what this Libra, you know what? That's the name for this reading. Libra full moon is coming in like decide what you want so that it comes to you now. Okay? There is going to be clarity. There is going to be truth. There's going to be balance. The Knight of Cups. Okay? We're going to dig into those. And the King of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like people are finally the star. Oh, I'm here. I receive it. I'm here for it. You're healing from things from the past, okay? And while it's not in your control, unfortunately, who gets disappointed by your decisions? Of course, as long as you're not out here hurting anybody or taking advantage of somebody, that you are being honest with people and being honest with yourself about what it is that you want and whether or not, you know, they're moving into this next cycle with you. As long as you're not out here deliberately hurting anybody. Yes, some people are going to be disappointed. Because I feel like now the collective is setting boundaries, is saying, you know, this, I can't compromise, you know, myself, my boundaries, or my standards, okay? We're going to dig into that Knight of Cups, okay? Give me a second. But with the star there, it's just like, with Empress energy, oh, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This is renewal. You know, the collective is being renewed right now. Whatever you are closing out, this is the right time to close it out, okay? Because it's time to nurture and feed yourself and your dreams and your desires, okay? And I don't mean that in a selfish way. I mean the seeds that you had planted 6 months ago, okay? Those seeds are coming to fruition. After this full moon, so much is going to change in a good way. In a good way. Spirit is saying, check him out, the Knight of Cups. This is chess, not checkers. This is chess, not checkers. Okay? This requires focus, commitment, dedication. This next cycle in your life, it requires focus, commitment, and dedication. And not everybody can come. Nine of Swords. I feel like, there's definitely people are going to be, you know, stressed out in your life, right? Some people are going to be really stressed out. We're going to clarify. I'm going to pull another row and then I will clarify. Again, I don't want this to be too long. The Four of Pentacles. We are focusing on our finances, okay? And, you know, when it comes to, I was having this conversation with a friend of mine earlier. You know, your heart chakra is directly associated with abundance, okay? The sun is the heart chakra, okay? So many of you might want to do a heart chakra cleanse or heart chakra healing meditation, because I feel like if you are working on your finances right now, if you're working on your stability, understand that your abundance, your money, is directly associated with your heart chakra. So check in with your heart. Don't be egotistical. Like, no, I'm good. I don't got work to do there. Are you sure? Are you sure? The Fool. And the Devil. I'm gonna check in on that. But I do feel like this is about, again, releasing the things that have been holding us back. And for some of you, that literally is patterns of behavior. It literally is unhealthy spending habits, just unhealthy some of you, it's addictions, right? And so it's like really needing to check in on that. Okay, if that's something, if you're struggling with certain things, right? Unhealthy money habits or unhealthy, just any unhealthy habit, now is the time for you to release it under this full moon. Write it down, get clear about it, get honest with yourself, and burn it under the full moon. We got a lot of fours here. This looked like it wanted to come out in the reverse. The Four of Cups, okay? You know, remember that rejection is a sign of God's protection, okay? Your opportunity is not going to pass you by, okay? But I feel like there's a need for you to, some of you need to redirect your focus, okay? Because you're saying, it's almost like you're staying, you're isolating yourself, or you're staying stuck. Something has you in your head. You're stuck about something, and you're not realizing the other opportunities that, you know, like the adjacent possibilities, okay? You don't want to be so focused on one thing or consumed by one thing that you're missing what divine has for you, right? The King of Wands, I feel like, yeah, there's definitely something that's coming in, but this is also about having the confidence to take the risk, okay? Starting something new, starting something fresh. And no, you might not be able to see the entire staircase. Whenever I see the Fool, it's like jump off the cliff. Jump and grow wings as you fall. Build it and they will come. Believe in yourself. I feel like for some of you, this is just like this is fears of taking that risk, right? No risk, no reward. Small money don't make no money. Those are all of the things that are coming to mind right now for me. Those are the things that are coming to mind right now, right? So yeah, this is like about betting on yourself, investing in yourself, okay? Because I feel like the collective has been working, but there are still some hidden fears, and this is the time where you need to let those go under this full moon, okay? Please clarify the Three of Swords here for the collective. Clarify the Three of Swords. I feel like all of the cards want to come out. Thank you. I'm going to bring these two cards down because they're killing me. The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, so the Knight of Pentacles is like, you know, again, there could have been a situation where somebody decided to take a different path, go in a different direction, okay? The Knight of Pentacles is pragmatic and is slow. And, you know, this is about understanding that, you know, every offer, you know, that is made, you know, to you, just because somebody offers you something doesn't mean that you should take it, kind of thing, okay? And I feel like, let me clarify that. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles with the Three of Swords. Clarify the Knight of Pentacles with the Three of Swords. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. I'm sorry, the Seven of Wands. So I feel like with the Seven of Wands here, okay, I feel like there might have been an offer, right? An offer of something, whether it was an opportunity in a business, in a partnership, a promotion, or even an opportunity, you know, an offer in love. I feel like someone changed their minds about it with the Seven of Swords and decided to not go in that direction, right? You got two people here, right? One is looking that way and the other one is looking at at the map, and I feel like this person has his own plan over here, and he has his own direction, and he knows what he wants. He's after that pentacle, and she's over here like, yeah, she's looking back at like, man, I know those were the plans maybe, but I've realized that I want to go in the opposite direction. And I feel like, ultimately someone, ends up disappointed. So again, you may disappoint some people along the way by doing what's best for you, but never feel bad about doing what's best for you. Don't feel guilty about doing what's best for you. As long as you're not deliberately hurting anybody, right? And as long as you are being honest with yourself and you're being fair, right? In that, hey, look, I'm being fair in the sense that I'm communicating this to you, and I'm being honest about it, right? You shouldn't feel bad about doing what's best for you, okay? Tell me about the devil here. Tell me about the devil. The Six of Wands. Yeah, so some of you might be like addicted to like fame, or like just maybe being out there, because the Six of Wands is about recognition, right? And so I feel like some of you might really be out wanting to seek that, right? Seek the attention of like the crowd, and it's like even those things, releasing those things. I do feel like with the Six of Wands, it could also be, what I'm getting with this devil here, it could also be, hanging on to the past, and being stuck in that state, right? The Love is at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it could be that you're hanging on to a past person, and that's holding you back from moving forward toward your success. Okay. Let me get another one here for the devil. Judgment, right? So this is about making a decision, choosing yourself, making a decision to not remain in there, because the devil is about self-imposed bondage. Like you're only stuck because you are allowing yourself to be stuck. You're not making a decision, okay? Judgment is also about forgiveness. So, in order to close out those cycles, it's especially when people have hurt us, it's like releasing the person with that forgiveness, releasing them with compassion, empathy, and respect, and moving away from them in that way. Bottom of the deck, I do see the Wheel of Fortune, right? So just allowing yourself to judge how you have been, how you have blocked yourself from, the opportunities by the choices that you have made as well. So again, getting real with ourselves, getting clear about how maybe some of us have been standing in our own way. Okay. Please tell me about the Two of Swords. What is this decision? So the Magician here is like, you have everything that you need to decide and to move forward, okay? And this change is going to occur whether you want it or not, because I see a lot of major arcana here: the Star, Judgment, the Devil, the Fool, Justice, the Sun, and the Magician here. So I feel like, it's either you're going to decide, or there's going to be a tower and it's just going to fuck shit up, okay? Like God is going to be like, you know what? I'm going to come in, I'm going to handle this myself, okay? So you have everything that you need to make a decision. And part of that is deciding to embrace the change. Sorry about that. Tell me about the Justice card here. The Wheel of Fortune, it was at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So, luck is definitely on your side. Like, this is about timing. This is about fate. Divine timing is at play right now. So things are not, you have certain things that are within your control only for a certain amount of time. So it's kind of like act on them, or God is going to step in and act for you, okay? So I feel like any of you who are going through some sort of a court situation, that is going to turn out in your favor. I just really see that being really favorable for you. So if you're talking about contracts and things like that, this time, during like this energy is really going to, like, it's a good time to like close out contracts. sign on the dotted line, get, especially since like Venus retrograde ended today, Mercury retrograde out the door. So now we're clear. We you know, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. So I feel like for a lot of you, there are some good contracts, solid contracts that are about to like come into your awareness or close out, finalize. That's the word I'm looking for. Finalize, that are going to be beneficial to you. Okay. Tell me about the Empress here for the collective. Tell me about the Empress. The Ten of Cups. Yeah. And, you know, look, for those of you who are looking for love, that is going to be available to you. It's already available to you, okay? With the Empress and the Ten of Cups. This is the whole family. I mean, look, your full family there, okay? Rainbow and all of that. What you've been waiting for is here. However, in order for you to get what you want, you have to close the door to what you don't want. You have to close it, lock it, throw away the key, and be willing to move towards what you want with faith, in a way of surrender. Even if you don't see that yet, it is there. It is coming in. You have to release, surrender your desire to control or the desire to want to know, okay? Because I feel like with the Four of Cups directly underneath this Empress and this Ten of Cups, there is a love situation for those of you who are looking for love. That is coming in, that again, you don't even see coming your way. With the Empress and the Ten of Cups here, for those of you who are in relationships, with the Star here, is like those relationships are going through a renewal. Like they are being renewed. You are finding the spark again. You're finding the love, okay? And those, it's like they're being filled with new life, right? They're being revitalized, okay? Tell me about the Fool. What is this risk here? What is this leap of faith? Tell me about the Fool. Tell me about the Fool. I feel like that Knight of Cups is like piercing his eyes in me. Yeah, so the Eight of Wands and the World. So this is really, this tells me that, again, confirming that you are closing out a cycle, and this change is going to happen really quickly. A lot of you, many of the collective is going to find themselves moving. I mean, considering the state of the United States of anxiety, a lot of people are going to be moving out of the country or even just to another state than the one that you're in. But this change is going to happen fast, and this is also, you know, the world is definitely new love, a new romantic cycle that is beginning. And so I feel like, again, it's surrendering with that Fool, understanding that you can't know what you don't know, and you don't, you'll never know somebody's true intentions. Like, you really just have to take the leap and surrender to love. But there's definitely, look, as I say that, the Two of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. What I say, soulmate energy. So many of you are closing out these cycles, and the minute that you choose to close out that cycle, that your person, that soulmate, comes into your life, okay? And I know that sounds like a little cliche, but that's what I'm picking up, right? The minute that you decide, okay, this chapter is closed, moving toward, you know, my future, and I trust that the person that is for me, I'm going to meet that person along the way. We are inevitably going to meet, right? On a beach somewhere, just like this. And for those of you who are in relationships that you decide, okay, I am making the decision to move forward with this connections. Again, with this connection, those connections are being renewed, all right? And you're headed towards higher levels of commitments, okay? Engagements, marriage, or just solidifying, hey, we're committed here, okay? Tell me about the Star here, and then I'm gonna close out. Or actually, I'm not gonna take that. That was a little sloppy, and I didn't like that. I'm gonna pull an advice card. Tell me about the Star here for the collective. The Ten of Swords, right? So again, healing from past betrayals, healing from deception, healing from lies, healing from even this came out in the reverse, which is the 5 of Wands. We're not arguing anymore. We're not wasting our breath, our time on things that don't serve us. We are not wasting our attention. We are not giving our energy away to people who drain us, okay? No, the Hangman at the bottom of the deck, we are surrendering to what divine has. We're not willing to sacrifice anymore, overgive, overpour. No, we have hung ourselves on the tree of wisdom to gain enlightenment so that we learn and we are divinely guided so that we can make the best choices for ourselves. 5 of Cups in the reverse as well. We're moving away from feeling sad for ourselves. We're moving away from the grief. We're moving away from the loss, okay? And we are calling in our vibe tribe, the people that are in alignment with us, that resonate with our passion, our purpose, our spirits. Those are the ones that we are gonna be collaborating with and going into this next cycle, okay? The Page of Wands. So definitely some news coming in, but I also feel like a lot of you, your creativity, your vitality, like that creative spark, that's coming back to you. I love her. I love this deck, right? This is the High Priestess. It's like many of you know, you can feel that something amazing is coming, right? So there's a need to let go of the fear, right? That you will be losing out on something if you let go of that thing that you've been holding on to, that thing that has you stuck, or that person that, you know, you might really want, you know, that, but unfortunately that's not in alignment with where you're going or where they're going, okay? The Ace of Swords, it did come out in the reverse, so I feel like this full moon is going to bring in clarity for you, because many of you maybe just have not been clear, have not decided, okay? And some of you are waiting on communication from something or someone, and that has been delayed. What is that communication, Spirit? What is that communication? Oh my God, this is long. What is that too many cards. Okay. What is that communication, Spirit, for the collective? 9 of Swords. Oh, somebody's in their head. The 9 of Pentacles. So maybe some of you are waiting on like word from a promotion, or just money that's coming in, some sort of something that's bringing you in, like increasing your finances. Maybe you're waiting on a job to call you back, or just to sign again on the dotted line for something. The 9 of Pentacles is somebody who is abundant and stable. And so clarifying the 9 of Swords, 9s are about completions again. So I feel like that Ace of Swords might be just not being able to make the decision to release something, because 9s are, again, closing. So we're in the year of 9, right? So this is closing out the chapter, and maybe fearing, right, the worst from closing and letting that go. But, you know, even if that means you remaining single, it's like you are going to be abundant. You are going to attract what you need to attract, and that energy, pour it into yourself, pour it into your passions, pour it into your purpose, because everything is going to be okay. 8 of Cups. Walk away, let go, release, walk into the sunset, let go of what is no longer in alignment with you. And I say this, and we say this, all this is full moon energy all the way. But this is different. You're walking away from an entire cycle. It's time. These are like the little remnants, right? That you got to just, oh my God, I forgot. I closed the door, but I forgot to lock it. Okay. I closed that, but I forgot to lock it. And that's basically, you know, what we're doing. We're walking away from the things that just don't make us feel good, and walking toward the things that fill us up, the King of Cups, okay? Walking toward the things that make us happy, the people who are emotionally available to us, who are going to reciprocate that love, who are going to pour into us in the same way that we pour into them, okay? I'm going to close out with one of these because I feel called to pull from this deck. And I'm definitely going to read it from the book. Spirit, advice for the collective. Advice for the collective. Thank you. Oh my gosh, the void. It couldn't be more clearer. The void is all about releasing. Look at that. This is all about letting go, surrendering to the unknown. Look at the bottom of the deck. Activated earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. You have to trust. And many of you need to get out as soon as the weather breaks. I don't know where you are. If you're in a place that's tropical, that's warm, and you could get outside, go connect with nature. Go sit on the grass, stand in the grass barefoot. Go into nature, because with these eclipses that happen, Mother Earth opened up to receive new light codes, new vitality, new information. And when you sit and you ground yourself and you connect with Mother Earth, she fills you up with that energy and that information and that clarity. So it is so important for you to go connect with Mother Earth. The void, I'm gonna read that, and then I'm gonna close out. You guys, this has been real. Okay, where's the void here? Let's find it. But that totally makes sense, because the void is all about releasing. OMG, I can't find it. Don't judge me. Where the heck is the void? Oh my gosh. I really feel called to read this message from, okay, here it goes. From the book, 116. Okay. Everything and nothing exists in the void. It's where all life begins and ends. It's the winter and the womb, the fertile darkness where all things originate and all seeds grow. Comforting and intimidating, freeing and daunting. It can feel both overwhelmingly small and huge. The void is where faith lives. The message of the void is to surrender to the unknown. Can't make it up. To allow the fertile darkness of nothingness to nourish the new seeds growing within you. Regardless of whether you know what they'll one day become, you're being called to surrender. Surrender to the mystery of what's next, to rest, and to allow the winter of your life to do the work for you, to hand over your controlling and trust that just because you can't see what's happening beneath the surface, oh my gosh, it doesn't mean things aren't at work. What did I say? To trust. To trust, because you don't know what's next, but you can feel it's something amazing. And I love that anticipatory feeling. The greatest weavings happen when we find a way to surrender and trust that our life is being knitted for us, right beneath the surface, in ways known and unknowable. Now is the time to cultivate faith and allow deep, deep rest. The void often surfaces at the end of a chapter or life phase. Can't make it up, okay? This is clarifying this entire reading, okay? When we're called to let go of all that we know and identify with. When you're in the void, it can feel scary, and as if you should be doing something. However, when this card appears, it's a sure sign that the most productive thing to do is relinquish control and surrender to the changing mystery of your life. How are you being called to surrender to the unknown mystery of your life? Collective. That's what it is. That is what it is. I'm not even gonna bother reading this. I'm gonna leave it at that, because that is what you're being called to do. You're being called to let go, surrender, and trust. I let go and I trust. You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it brought you some clarity, some direction, some insight. And if it resonated with you, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know how. Give your girl a like. It helps the channel. And if you really enjoyed it and you intend on coming back, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's free. If you're interested in a personal reading or my social media, all of that information is going to be in the description box below. I love you all, and thank you so much for staying for all of this time. Peace, love, light, and happy full moon.